So hi everyone. So now I'm bringing a series on your machine learning. I will try my best to give understanding you about the machine learning, and this is a series on machine learning for beginners as well. We will cover everything from scratch to the top level. We will discuss mostly majority of the things which we are required to have understanding of machine learning in this series. Okay. So now we know that like machine learning is a sub part of your AI, like your deep learning is a sub part of your machine learning. So actually machine learning is comes under set of soft computing algorithms. Uh, like machine learning is itself is some set of algorithms. Like we write some hard computings, like we writing a code for a stack, we are writing code for a queue. Okay, so that they come under hard computing. We cannot use those hard computing things to solve some complex problems. In order to solve some complex problems, we need soft computing, with the help of which we can solve those problems very easily, right? So that is where we come and we scientists or whatever peoples have bring this machine learning into picture. Okay, so it has provided new capabilities for the computers. Okay, and you can see there are a lot of examples where we are using machine learning nowadays. Like we are using it in recommendation systems we see on YouTube and all. Okay, we are using in natural language processing where we are processing your languages, we are predicting their digits, their characters in languages. We're using computer vision, like your image processing, video processing, your audio processing things. We are also using it in autonomous helicopters, we are using it in handwritten digit recognition systems. Okay, there are a lot of biomedical applications of machine learning. There are a lot of agriculture, we are using a lot of machine learning in agriculture as well. We are using machine learning in space as well. So it has a wide area of applications, we can use it in anywhere. Okay, so these are the some of the examples where we are using machine learning nowadays, and it's a very popular term today. Okay, so we are going ahead. We will discuss actually what is machine learning. Okay, so like you are seeing here a definition by Third Samuel. They are saying that it's a field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So it means we are talking about the soft computing. Like we have a fix, we have a same set of algorithms, but we are applying those algorithms, machine learning algorithms, to a wide area of applications. Those same algorithms we are applying. Okay, so that's why they are soft. They are not hard computing, right? So this is definition of machine learning. So now I will tell you, according to me, what is machine learning? It is a fitting of curves. Is a machine learning. Like in numerical mathematics, there is one chapter of fitting of curves. I have studied in my BTech, and so that gives me taste of machine learning. Okay, that will give you understanding at lower level, like what is machine learning. Instead of just reading these definitions and all, it's my definition. Like machine learning is fitting of curves. Like I can give you example that will give you better understanding what is machine learning. Like I have one equation, y equal to ax plus b. Okay, so this is the equation, right? So here I can say like x is your features, a and b are your weights, okay, and y is your prediction. Okay, in machine learning terms we can classify this equation like that way. Okay, now what we are doing in machine learning, like when we are training our networks or your neural network, your logistic regression and all, what we are finding there is weights. Okay, we are initially randomly initialize your weights, like we are initializing a and b as a random. So I'm not going in deep here, it's just introductory lecture where I will give you overview about the machine learning, and we will see in depth in later lectures how they are mathematically worked and all. So I just give you brief here, like if I have this equation y equal to x plus b, okay, and if I know a and b, okay, say a equal to 2, b equal to 3, okay, so when I put value of x in this equation, I will get y. Okay, that is what we are doing in machine learning. We have to find y in machine learning. Okay, and okay, and we already have x. there. We already have x and we have to find y, but we don't have a and b. So a and b we find in supervised learning. Okay, x we already have. Okay, because we already have x, we have labels, so we train with that and we find a and b. Once we have a and b, we put x and we will get y. Okay, and y is your result. That is what we are doing. It is a fitting of curves. Okay, so now I can give you one example that will help you understanding. You can see here, a computer program is set to learn from the experience E with respect to some task T and the sum performance measure P. If its performance on T as measured by P improves the experience E. Okay, so this is one uh, some information is there. Now our question is, suppose your email program watches the email you do or do not mark as spam, and based on that learns how to better filter spam. What is the task T in this setting? Okay, so this is the question. So you can see here we are classifying emails as spam and not spam. Okay, so this is your task T. Okay, this is your task T, and then we are watching your labels as email spam or not spam, and then you can see there are a number of emails correctly classified as spam or not spam. So this is classified number of emails which are classified correctly. So this is your performance. This is your performance. Okay, and we are watching your labels, so we are watching, it's your experience. Okay, so okay, so that is how there are tasks, there are experiences, and how there are performance measured in this question, right? Hope this will give you some idea. So just don't worry, we will study in deep about machine learning later lectures. It's just introductory. So now I am coming to machine learning. In machine learning, there are various things like we have a supervised learning, we have unsupervised learning. There are other things like reinforcement learning and recommendation systems and all. They all come under machine learning. Okay, so like we will go into supervised learning for now, and you can see here in supervised learning there are a lot of things like we have a linear regressions, we have a logistic regressions, multi-class classifications, and so on things. So firstly we need to understand what is supervised learning, right? Supervised learning is the learning where we have a labels. Okay, it is more accurate way of classifying problems than your unsupervised learning, because in unsupervised learning we don't have any labels, but in supervised learning we have a labels. Okay, with the help of which we can train our your machine learning algorithms. Okay, and then we can get good results when we are testing on a data for which we don't have a labels. Okay, so this is supervised learning, like we already have a labels to train our machine. Okay, unlike in unsupervised learning where we don't have a labels to train our machine. Okay, so in supervised learning there are so many things, your linear regression, where we are predicting continuous values, like you are getting as output as a 20, 30, 40, anything like that. Okay, in logistic regression is another thing, linear which is a type of classification thing where you're classifying thing like it is a, if I'm saying it's a cancer, you can say whether it's a cancer malignant or there is benign, like that. And we have only two kind of output is there, either it can be 1 or it can be 0, but in linear regression it can be any number, 10, 20, 100, 2000, it can be any number as output. Okay, in then there are higher classifiers like your neural networks, your SVMs, decision trees, KNN, your neighbors. Okay, so you can see here I am taking one example for the linear regression. So our problem here is your house price prediction problem. You can take this as an example. This is a linear regression example because your price of a house will always be a number. It can be 1000 rupees. Okay, it can be 2000 rupees. It can be 1 lakh. It can be 10 lakh, 20 lakh. It can be like that. That is a kind of price prediction we are doing for a house based on the parameters, based on the features. Like you can see here in this problem we have two things, price and your size in feet square. So size in feet square, this is your features, your x. Okay, this is your x, this is your feature, size in feet square, and price is your y, because we have to do prediction here. Okay, that is what we have to predict through our these algorithms. Okay, and you can see then we have our weights and all. So firstly, we will train our machine, our model. Okay, like we have initially we have some sample your size in feet and your prices already. For a given size in feet we have some prices. Okay, we already have that data. Based on that we will train our model and we will find a and b's. Okay, for our any equation like it I don't see like for you can see here if I can put a linear line, I don't think it will work out. It is not fitting all your this cross marks, right? This cross marks is your relation between your size in feet square and price. So I can't say the equation for this model is y equal to x plus b. And then you can say I can make another another line here of a kind such kind of line. Okay, so you can see here it fits, this green line fits more better than this blue line. Okay, into this your into your given data, right? So definitely for this model the equation cannot be a linear like y equal to x plus b. I don't think that this will fit this model. So you can say some another equation like y equal to ax square plus bx plus c, like so on. Okay, so so mostly as we already know, like as the size of house increases, the price will also increase. Okay, so it may be linearly dependent or it may be more than degree one, might be known one more than 1 degree depends on your equation, right? So this is one problem because price of an house can be anything. It is not be like your 0 or 1. It can be any value, right? That's why it is a linear regression. Okay, and then you can see here we have a logistic regression. In logistic regression we have only output as a 0 or 1. Okay, we have only just actually we have only just two classes. Yeah, in logistic regression we just have only two classes. Like you can take an example of breast cancer. So we can say whether its output is 0 or 1. Okay, and if I can say output is 1, then I can say breast cancer is malignant. If it's 0, I can say it's a benign. So how we will classify, we will see output probability of your output neuron from your model. Okay, like if we can say it is vary from 0 to 0.49, then it's a benign, and it is vary from 0.5 to 1, then it's a malignant. So how we are how logistic regression model works internally and how linear regression model works internally, we will see it in coming videos. Okay, I will giving you overview. Like here there are only two classes, na 0 or 1, malignant and benign. So we are working at logistic regression here. So it is not a continuous output value here. That's why it is not a linear regression problem. Okay, okay, and then we are coming to some another question which will help you understand what is linear regression and what is your classification or logistic regression problem. Like you can see here, you are running a company and you want to develop learning algorithms to address each of two problems. Like we have two problems, problem one and problem two, and then we have to choose one of the four options we have. Like problem one is saying you have a large inventory of identical items. You want to predict how many of these items will sell over the 3 months. Okay, so we have to do prediction here. How many of these items we can sell? It can be 10 items, it can be 20 items, it can be 30 items. So it's a kind of continuous output values we are here. It's not a 0 or 1. Okay, and so it is a problem of problem one is belongs to linear regression. And then problem two, you can say you did like a software to examine individual customer accounts, and for each account decide if they have hacked or compromised. So here they are talking about just two classes, your hacked or compromised thing. So we can say it is just two classes, right? So this can be done by classification or your logistic regression thing. So now you can see here what options we have. Should you treat this as a classification or regression problems? First option saying treat both as a classification problems. No. Okay, treat problem one as a classification problem, problem two as a regression problem. No, it's also a wrong answer. Treat problem one as a regression problem, treat problem two as a classification problem. Yeah, this is right answer. And treat both as a regression problems. No, it's also a wrong answers. Okay, so that is how these examples help us understanding which problems belongs to linear regressions and which problems belongs to your logistic regression. Okay, so now we will discuss about. I will give you I will tell you what is unsupervised learning. Like unsupervised learning, we don't have any labels. We are mostly we are mostly it refers to retrieving some useful data retrieving some useful information from the data we have. Okay, because we don't have any labels here, so it is less accurate than your supervised learning. Okay, but it has a great applications. Okay, you can see there are various clustering methods like your k-means, your principal component analysis and all. So here this belongs to unsupervised learning because we don't have any labels here. Like if I can say I have a plant leaf disease, plant diseased leaf, okay, or human diseased skin image, okay, then you can see we can classify, we can extract it out that legible region, our region of interest, where which represent the diseased part in plant or skin by using k-means clustering algorithms. Okay, okay, it will segment those areas into different regions based on the colors or based on the number of clusters. Okay, based on the number of your centroids, that is your k in k-means. Okay, so like it has a great applications. Unsupervised learning, like for now, as of now, we are good at supervised learning in machine learning. We are good at supervised learning. We are not getting very good results in unsupervised learning. So might be in future we start getting more good results in unsupervised learning and all. So let's see how our scientists work and how we proceed in that. And you can see here, like these are some of the more examples where we use your unsupervised learning, like organize your computing clusters, your social network analysis, your market segmentation, your astronomical data analysis. Like in, if you can see in space, okay, how we don't have any labels, we don't know what exactly anything refers to. Okay, we never have gone there, so we don't know exactly. So we don't have any labels, so we cannot apply their supervised learning. So we have to apply their unsupervised learning, like we apply clustering. So with the help of clustering we classify our region, we classify the space region into clusters. Each cluster represents a data belongs to some similar set of features and functionalities. Okay, that is how we are using it in astronomical data analysis. Okay, so these are the some of the examples about the your unsupervised learning. Okay, and I think I have given you overview a lot of things about the machine learning. So we just have discussed at higher level what the things are, what are the applications, how you can use them, how we are applying those things. Okay, but in coming lectures we will discuss those things mathematically, how we are doing internally those things in depth, and I will also give you some real-time project. We will also do some real-time projects, some good projects at the end of this course. Yeah, which I have done in my BTech or I have learned in where I have applied these machine learning things. We will definitely go through them, and that will give you a good taste of how we are applying this machine learning and soft computing things into our real-time examples, whether it's agriculture, whether it's a biomedical area, whether it's a hyperspectral images which we are taking through satellites, how we are applying those images, how we are classifying those images using your neural networks, your classifiers, and how we are working on brain tumors, how we are working on plant disease problems and all. Okay, hope you have a great learning with this lecture, and it's just a beginning lecture. Bye bye.